Have you ever felt stuck in a cycle where no matter how hard you try, things just don't seem to change? As if something invisible, a force beyond your control, is holding you back from achieving what you deeply desire. Whether it's more wealth, more peace, or the feeling of truly living your full potential, it seems like something is always missing, doesn't it? The truth is, this happens to all of us at some point in life. Guilt, fear, the what-ifs surrounding us. Perhaps you've even tried to change, seeking answers in books, courses, or advice from those close to you. But no matter how hard you try, the results never seem to last. And then comes the frustration. You look around and see people thriving, living their dream lives, and you ask yourself, why not me? What am I doing wrong? I'm here to tell you, you are not alone. And, more importantly, the answer you're searching for is much closer than you think. Many of us fail to realize that the secret isn't just about what we do, but above all, how we think and feel. Science, combined with ancient wisdom, proves this time and time again. Welcome to the Vibrating Prosperity Channel. Today, you'll discover the story of a scientist named Mary, who not only faced similar challenges, but also found a way to radically transform her life. Using principles based on neuroscience and teachings from figures like Napoleon Hill, Dr. Joe Dispenza, and Abraham Hicks, she not only overcame obstacles, but built a life many would consider impossible. But before we go any further, let me ask you this. Do you believe it's possible to change your reality by transforming what you believe to be true? And more, to transform your life in this brand new year? If this resonates with you, stay with me until the end of this video. By the end of this journey, you will not be the same. And more importantly, you will have the tools to transform your own life. Subscribe to the channel now to continue receiving content that will help you unlock your full potential. This is just the beginning of your journey toward the abundance you've always dreamed of. When everything began, Mary was exactly where many of us have been before. She had all the credentials, years of study, and a vast knowledge of the human brain. But that didn't prevent her from facing one of the greatest crises of her life. Her days were consumed by doubts, a sense of stagnation, and the constant feeling that something was missing. Even though she knew logically that she was capable of great things, she couldn't translate that knowledge into practical results. It was as if something was blocking the path between what she knew and what she could achieve. And maybe you've felt that way too. That disconnect between potential and reality, the sense that an invisible wall separates who you are from who you want to be. That's when she began asking herself a simple yet powerful question. What if the answer isn't in the external world, but within me? This question, seemingly obvious, planted the seed that would change everything. Based on that question, she decided to explore areas she had once considered beyond the scope of traditional science. Inspired by works like Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy, she began investigating the impact of beliefs and thought patterns on human behavior. The deeper she delved, the clearer a truth became. The mind isn't just a tool, it's the creator of reality. This is where the story starts to take shape, because just like her, you also have this power within you. But how can we access it? Stay with me and discover how the next steps in this journey reveal practical ways for anyone to turn the seemingly impossible into reality. Everything began to shift when Mary made a bold decision to temporarily set aside her conventional scientific approach and make room for new paradigms. Inspired by Dr. Joe Dispenza, she started studying how repetitive thoughts create fixed neural networks that ultimately shape our external reality. If I can change the patterns in my mind, I can change the patterns in my life, she reflected. She began with a simple experiment. Every day, she dedicated 10 minutes to visualizing what her ideal life would look like. Instead of merely imagining with her eyes closed, She aimed to feel the emotions as if she were already living that moment. This activated what Dr. Dispenza calls the chemistry of transformation, when the body and mind begin to work together to create a new reality. But there was a challenge. During the first few weeks, her mind constantly sabotaged the process. Negative thoughts emerged. This is a waste of time, or this will never work. At that point, she realized that the first major challenge was overcoming internal resistance, that critical voice many of us face. This was when she introduced a new practice based on the concept of mindfulness, inspired by Eckhart Tolle. Instead of fighting negative thoughts, she began observing them without judgment. Over time, she noticed that they lost their power and stopped controlling her actions. This practice of presence provided immediate relief and created space for something greater, the certainty that she was on the right path. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by doubt or negativity, know that it's part of the process. And just like her, you can overcome these obstacles and move forward to the next stage of transformation. As Mary advanced on her journey, she began to notice a clear pattern. The key to transforming her external reality lay in reprogramming limiting beliefs. To achieve this, she adopted a daily practice based on positive affirmations, inspired by the works of Louise Hay. These affirmations weren't just words repeated mechanically. They needed to be felt as emotional truths. This created a connection between the conscious mind and the subconscious, the true driver of lasting change. However, the process was challenging. As she repeated phrases like, "I am prosperous," or "I am worthy of abundance," old memories and beliefs would arise, attempting to prove otherwise. Here she employed an approach inspired by Bruce Lipton, combining science with emotion. She began visualizing these old beliefs as layers of an onion that needed to be peeled away, one at a time. During this period, she developed the habit of keeping a journal to document her discoveries. Every time a limiting belief emerged, she wrote it down, and beside it, placed a corresponding positive affirmation. This practice trained her mind to focus on what she wanted to create, rather than dwelling on what she wanted to avoid. The transformation wasn't instantaneous, but the results began to show. Small signs of change in her daily life started confirming that she was on the right path. What once seemed like an insurmountable obstacle was now viewed as an opportunity for growth. And at this point, the big question arises: how can these small breakthroughs be transformed into consistent, lasting change? The answer was about to unfold. The key to transforming small breakthroughs into consistent change came when Mary decided to apply a central concept from the works of Charles Harnell and Earl Nightingale. Repetition is the path to mastery. To achieve this, she developed a system of daily routines that combined science and spirituality. Each morning began with a gratitude practice, followed by a visualization exercise, and concluded with empowering affirmations. It was simple, yet incredibly powerful. A fundamental element of this system was the idea of creating small triggers throughout the day to remind herself to keep her mind aligned with her vision. Inspired by The Secret, she placed visual reminders around her home, a vision board in the living room, motivational phrases on her mirror, and even phone alarms with messages like, "You are already worthy of everything you desire." These triggers helped reorient her energy whenever a negative thought or emotion surfaced. Over time, these practices began to have a cumulative impact. She noticed a profound shift in her mindset. Situations that once seemed out of reach started manifesting naturally in her life. She received an unexpected job offer for an innovative project, which not only validated her efforts, but also opened doors to new levels of abundance. It was then that she understood the true power lies in consistency. It wasn't about doing something grand for a day, but about taking small, intentional steps daily that over time created a transformative effect. This realization not only changed her life, but also inspired her to share these practices with others. If you've ever wondered how to create lasting change, here's the secret. Start small, but stay consistent. And remember, every step taken with intention is a step closer to the life you desire. Despite the significant progress she had made, there were moments when fear and doubt tried to resurface. These moments were critical as they tested her determination. She realized that she needed a tool to deal with these inevitable tests. That's when she found inspiration in Eckhart Tolle and the power of now. She began using breathwork as an anchor, a simple but powerful method to return to the present moment whenever negative thoughts arose. When fear whispered, "What if this doesn't work?" she would respond by focusing on her breath and telling herself, "All I have is this moment, and in this moment, I am in control." This practice strengthened her confidence and helped her build emotional resilience. Another crucial element was understanding that progress isn't linear. There were days when it felt like no progress had been made, but she learned to see those days as part of the process. Inspired by Abraham Hicks, she began practicing the idea of accepting contrast. These challenging moments acted as compasses, showing her exactly where she still needed to grow. This approach transformed the way she viewed difficulties. Instead of seeing them as signs of failure, she viewed them as opportunities for growth. And gradually, she noticed something extraordinary. The more she accepted and learned from challenges, the faster they would disappear. The message here is clear. Don't fear the challenges. They're not the end of the road, but an invitation to become stronger. And with the right tools, you can not only overcome them, but use them as stepping stones to reach higher levels of success and fulfillment. The great moment of insight came when she finally understood the essence of the teachings of Abraham Hicks and Napoleon Hill. You don't attract what you want, but what you are. It was at this point that she realized it wasn't enough just to visualize or affirm. She needed to embody these desires within her identity. She did this through a powerful exercise. Every day she asked herself, how would the most prosperous version of me act today? This question shaped her decisions, from the smallest choices to the big steps. Over time, she realized she wasn't just reprogramming her mind, but also her actions and reactions to life. Another essential element was understanding that abundance is not just material. Inspired by Rhonda Byrne, she began cultivating deep gratitude for everything she already had, creating a vibration that attracted more things to be grateful for. This elevated emotional state connected her with opportunities, people, and situations aligned with her goals. The transformative insight was this: abundance starts from within. When she stopped searching outside and began acting as if she already had everything she needed, her external reality shifted to reflect this truth. This new perspective became the foundation of her life, and she began teaching others to do the same. If you're seeking transformation, remember, it's not just about desiring something, but about becoming someone who lives in harmony with that desire. This is the true essence of manifestation. At the end of her journey, she found herself transformed not just in her external reality, but in her essence. The most prosperous and abundant version of herself was no longer a distant ideal, but a living reality. Inspired by this process, she decided to share her discoveries with the world, creating a simple yet incredibly effective method that blends science and spirituality. This method, which she called the Abundance Code, begins with 3 fundamental pillars: awareness, recognizing that everything starts with your thoughts and beliefs. You must be conscious of what you are feeding your mind. Practice turning thoughts into consistent and intentional actions aligned with the version of yourself you wish to become. Gratitude. Cultivating appreciation for every small accomplishment and everything that is already part of your life. She taught that abundance is not a destination, but a state of being. And by living in that state, you naturally attract what you desire. This doesn't mean there won't be challenges, but it means you'll be equipped to face them with resilience and confidence. As she concluded her story, she left a powerful message. The life you desire is already within your reach. All you need to do is believe, act, and be. You were born to live in abundance. Now it's your turn to take the next step. If you're ready to transform your life, we're here to help. We've left a special gift for you in the pinned comment or video description. Subscribe to the Vibrating Prosperity channel and start your new journey today. What you are waiting for is waiting for you. Peace and light to all.